I recorded my 40 time last year and clocked in at 5.8. The player at the top of this list clocked in at 4.22. Fuck! Looks like I'm not making the NFL in this lifetime. Maybe next time. A 4.2240 is about as fast as a black mamba, which I absolutely did not know were that fast. Welcome to Take Some Fuego. Today we are looking at the top 5 fastest NFL players of all time. Electronic timing for the 40-yard dash began in 1999. This list will only include electronically timed 40-yard dashes. Why? Imagine fingering a stopwatch so precise that when Bo Jackson runs by, you have to stop exactly when he crosses the line and make sure the stopwatch is pressed exactly as he begins the sprint. That would be some precise fingering action. Yeah! One study showed that hand timing, done in 1998 and prior, is off an average of 0.175 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but would be the difference between a 4.540 and an almost 4.7. That is some serious finger error. I know how that goes. A couple of players have clocked in under the 4.22 electronic record before 1999, and they might be totally accurate, or they might not. Deion Sanders clocked in at 4.21, left everyone in awe, and then left the combine immediately. Joey Galloway is a player I remember in my early fantasy football days, had no idea he was at one time this fast. He allegedly ran a 4.18. And Bo Jackson allegedly ran a 4.12. That one might be completely accurate. Bo Jackson was one of those players where if he had a hole and the defensive back was even with him, he just knew he was fucked. It was over. Watching Bo Jackson looks like the other players took 3 shots of Don Julio or something. Here are the top 40s using electronic timing. Henry Ruggs was 0.01 seconds away from making this list. He clocked in at 4.27. I don't know how the Raiders will be next year. Actually, I feel like I kinda know. But Ruggs and Josh Jacobs, that's gonna be fucking fun. Tied for number 4 at 4.26 is Dre Archer. He came out of college with almost 2,600 yards and 24 touchdowns at Kent State. Unfortunately, he just didn't translate to the league. He had 40 touches in the NFL and was released by the Steelers. The counterpart to number 4 is Jerome Mathis, who also ran a 4.2640. He ended up being a punt return specialist who returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns for Houston and made the All-Pro team that year. Injuries did limit his NFL career, but he did make it over to the Pittsburgh Power in the Arena Football League. This 40 is faster than polar bears run and about as fast as road runners. Tied for number 2 at 4.24 is Chris Johnson, one of 7 players to break 2,000 rushing yards, and the only player, besides Adrian Peterson, to do it in the last 15 years. He still holds the record for scrimmage yards at 2,509, and is the only NFL player I've known with gold in his mouth since 12th grade, like permanent gold, not a grill. He had his dentist numb his teeth, shave them down, and cement the gold teeth in his mouth. Also at number 2 is Rondell Menendez. He held the official electronic 40 time record for 18 years. After being drafted in the 7th round and making the Falcons roster, Melendez had no reason to play in the last preseason game of the year, other than he wanted to. He wanted the reps and to prove to the coaches they're making the right decision. As he went in to field a punt return, he tore his meniscus. He was that close to the NFL roster. He made it onto a few teams in the league, but never entered an official NFL game. And at number 1 is John Ross at 4.22. After he ran the 40, he actually strained his calves and had to miss some of the other drills, but it did help to land him 9th in the 2017 draft. That injury on his 40-yard dash should have been some foreshadowing, as he has played just 24 games in 3 years, largely due to health reasons. He also said he could beat Usain Bolt in the 40-yard dash. What? Usain Bolt did eventually respond to John Ross's challenge after his retirement while wearing a track jacket and fucking flat-bottom Puma shoes. Do you know how he did? He ran a 4.22. What? Christian Coleman, another US sprinter, ran a 4.12 when there was talk NFL players were faster than sprinters. I guess not. I guess sprinters are better at sprinting. What? Who would have thought? Apparently not John Ross. The fastest in-game speed of anyone in the NFL was Chris Johnson, who reached just above 22 miles per hour. About 6 miles per hour short of Bolt, who reached 27.8 miles per hour on his world record sprint. That's about as fast as a blue whale swims. To see NFL players with surprisingly slow 40 times, check out the videos on the screen, and be sure to subscribe to the channel or compare your 40 time to Usain Bolt.